Welcome to Zombie Beach. With me today is Dan.
Yes, and we sound like we're broadcasting live from the Tiki Room in Bodega Bay.
And we are. No.
Not exactly.
I love jazz, though. I must be getting old.
You know what? Actually, I have to say this about jazz. I did a multimedia project on the history of jazz.
Oh, you did?
I did. This was back like 95, I think. It was from this now defunct business called the Graphic Zone. They did all these interactive multimedia CD-ROMs. Remember when that was like the big thing?
Yeah.
To do that? We did Herbie Hancock Does a History of Jazz, and got to work with Herbie Hancock and kind of follow jazz's history from the old field hollers, back in the slave days, to to current jazz and beyond. And my area of expertise in this disc was 50s California jazz, where it started getting this sort of Hispanic sound to it. It was very Latin, very much like a Latin jazz fusion. And it was amazing. I mean, I got to meet some of the big players from the 50s, like Howard Rumsey and Sleepy Stein, who was a DJ back then, and all these great people that were involved in that era, and some amazing jazz, Lighthouse All-Stars. If you get the opportunity to pick up Live from the Lighthouse, amazing stuff.
Very cool.
Amazing stuff.
I got into jazz actually earlier when I was not a teenager anymore, in my very early 20s. Mainly because I was reading things like on the Road.
Oh, right, okay.
Kerouac. Yeah, by Jack, yeah. And so DT and I and our friend Gary had taken this lost 2 weeks trip down the Highway 1, just driving, wandering around, sleeping on beaches and stuff. And somewhere in the vicinity, I'm not really quite sure where, but in the vicinity of Santa Cruz, we just happened upon this bar with a live, jazz band.
Right.
And it was, and this guy was playing this saxophone right up front. It was just so cool. And we go in there, and we didn't have a whole lot of money, but we all bought a beer, and we're standing there, and we're like grooving out to it. And then later on, I'm in the bathroom, and the sax player comes back there. He's this older African-American gentleman, and he's like, he hits me up for some cocaine. And I'm like, I don't have any.
Now,
it's cool, man. It's cool.
Now, why would he assume that you're in the bathroom taking a leak and you would have cocaine?
I don't know. I guess maybe because I don't know.
It must have been the box of Microsoft Flight Simulator under your arm. Yeah. Is what I'm thinking.
But and he told me this. He basically launched into his life story almost Crazy Bob-like, and he's been in and out of jail, mostly in jail. And every time he gets out, he just goes out and plays until he gets in trouble and he goes back to jail. But he was an amazing, musician.
Yeah, it seems to me most jazz musicians, and only from what I've read, now, I mean, dear listener, if you are a jazz musician, I apologize in advance, but it just seems like they're all tragic geniuses. It's like they have this, I guess that's where the whole term tortured artist comes from. It's like they have this amazing talent, but yet they're wrestling with so much in their head that it just comes out in more often than not self-destructive forms.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I mean, I look at you and I mean, we're pretty much tragic geniuses, and we haven't really killed ourselves yet.
We're tragic in that we haven't been discovered.
And my friend, that is the tragedy. So anybody out there, please discover us. Do something.
Yeah, we want to be more. Wait, we want to be more tragic or less tragic?
I don't know. I'll settle for tragic, whatever.
We're too happy to make it.
You know what?
We're too nice.
Well, I mean, look at Kurt Cobain. Perfect example. The guy made it absolutely huge. He never had to dress up for a concert. And he had the world on a string. He made incredibly powerful music, and he blows his head off.
Yeah, because he's not happy. He's not happy with
Exactly. So why is it that the tragically unhappy people make all the money?
Well, you know what? If making it and being successful like that is going to make us so unhappy we're going to kill ourselves, like Freddie Prince,
Yes.
I'll stay. I'll choose happiness over fame and fortune.
Yeah, I would really like to see if fame and fortune would corrupt me. I just want to
Bring
give
it on, baby.
I just want to give it a good 5 years, and we'll do a Dan Ledbetter petri dish. Send me $35 million, and let's see if it corrupts me or if it changes my personality or if I become a real a-hole.
Okay, let's put it out there. Let's cover it in white light.
Yeah. So dear listener, if you have $35 million and would like to see an experiment take place, please write to us at Zombie Beach. And why do I get this feeling that we're going to get letters like I'm from the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and
there you go.
Set up a bank account and I'll deposit a check. Yeah, I can't wait to see the response on that.
We already get those.
Yeah, I know, true. And
the weird thing is one of them was probably real.
Yes, that's
and
the
we
sad.
threw it away.
Well, it's when it comes to stuff like that, I'm going to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Because it would be just my luck that 9 out of the 10 that I answer are the fake ones. And I'd be in jail, and I'd become a tragic genius right there. Perfect.
Wait, here's another question: is it best to be undiscovered yet happy, or to be discovered and make it big, and then be a has-been afterwards?
Wow, that's a great question.
Let's put that to our listeners. What do they think?
I don't know.
Let's Right, like you do, to comment on our website and tell us what you think.
Yeah, and we'll start a little discussion about it. And I think that, in all honesty, most of our listeners are probably tragic geniuses. and I only say that because
geniuses, but hopefully not tragic.
Well, yeah, and hopefully not trajectory geniuses. That's what I'm thinking. But, not to insult our listeners, because I love them. God bless you,
We can't believe you're there.
Yeah, honestly. And I'm sure there are more people that listen that don't really want to let it be known that they listen. So
I know. They're probably hiding. They're closet listeners.
Well, I think there's probably that federal injunction that has something to do with it. But nonetheless, I digress. Now, speaking of jazz and tragic geniuses, let's touch on this for just a second, because I know that you had just put up a Captain Led and the Letdowns fan page on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was kind of leading to that. Captain Led and Letdowns was the band that you were the lead singer of, and I was, yes, I guess, the manager and recording, the recorder and kind of a roadie of, and
yeah, you were kind of everything else that we weren't.
Yeah, me and
that was great. I mean, and in all honesty, and
we had two groupies, I guess.
Who was the second?
Karen.
That's right. Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry.
Well, and we all lived. Well, not all of us, but a bunch of us all lived together in a not a condo,
a duplex. Duplex, yes.
Which we called El Rancho Poseso, in a kind of commune type atmosphere.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. What was your?
Oh no. Well, what I was saying, it was kind of funny because how we started talking about jazz, and how our drummer Pat is mostly a jazz drummer. And in fact, when I was listening to the Beefalo song that you had put up, it was so funny to listen to that, because I remember to say, because Beefalo is kind of it's a rock and roll kind of, it's a heavy rock song, and he's got this jazz drum thing going that just kills me every single time. I love it.
I
Because
know it mixed well, didn't it?
yeah, it did. It was like jazz rock fusion. So it's I don't know what you would call it, but Raz or Jock?
Jock.
Jock, I think would probably be more fitting.
Punk jock.
Exactly, punk jock. But yeah, the whole Captain Lead experience I think was very fun, and that was probably the closest thing to becoming famous. Well, and if I may touch on this, the fact that we almost were famous in the 80s because we were asked to open for the Vandals at Mabuhay Garden in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And we chickened out.
Yep.
I know. How sad is that? It's like our possible pasts.
Well, there's since I put a Captain Lead and the Letdowns page out on Facebook, I Googled it to see if it showed up, and instead there's some fake Captain Lead guy on MySpace. What the heck?
Oh, that ain't right. What is he? Is he an imposter, or is he? Is it a band, or what? What is?
I don't know. What he's called himself Captain Lead.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? Seriously, if I had money to buy a lawyer, I would so go after him. Copyright infringement. I've been Captain.
Well, he's in Berlin, and he's only 19. So let's cut him a break.
Well,
and Stephen Colbert, one of his best toys when he was a kid was a bar of lead that he called Captain Lead.
Really? Was that angels getting their wings fractured?
Yeah, my girlfriend's telling me she found 8 fleas on her dog. So I'll link that. There's actually a funny little video.
Wait, the fleas or the video?
The video.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know if we were going to send our readers a box of fleas.
No, we just send spiders.
We do. And by the way, loyal listeners, thank you for your comments. I'm sure we may read a few of them at the end of this show,
Sure.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we thank you.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, we actually have people listen to us. That was made clear. But yeah, so Stephen Colbert is still. Okay, I lost my ability to speak.
Stephen Kill Bill.
Yeah, Colbert is talking about how he's holding this huge bar of lead, and it was his favorite toy as a kid. So I'll put that video out there when we post this. What I'd do is I should link that to the Captain Lead and Letdown sign on Facebook.
Dude, you should. That would be awesome.
I'll do it.
Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic.
There
you go. And there's another episode of Zombie Beach in the can.
Well, before we completely go off the subject of jazz, I just want to bring up the fact that the music that I'm featuring today is from a artist named Anthony. I think it's Anthony. There's no H in there. It's Anthony Rejekov, and I know I'm mispronouncing it. But
can you say that again?
Anthony Rejekov. Don't. I hear your thoughts. I'm guessing he's Russian. He's an instrumental, atmospheric, mellow, deep, original lounge jazz, chill out, new age guitar artist.
Wow.
This is off of an album of his called Jazz U, which is available free on several different sites on the intrawebs. I hate that term, intrawebs. Internet. It's the internet. And I got it from a place called Jamendo.com.
Oh. Wow,
Jamendo. So there's a plug for him.
Wow. Well, thanks, Anthony, for enjoying our music. Well, wait, we're not enjoying our music. We're enjoying his music.
Thank you for letting us use your music, even though we didn't ask.
and not suing us. We appreciate the non-suing part.
Well, it's under Creative Commons, so he says we could copy, distribute, advertise, and play this album as long as we give credit to the artist. I think.
Oh, well, there you go.
we've done that. So
I think so. I think it's all good.
absolutely awesome. I actually burned a copy of it, and I keep it in my car, and I play it while I'm in traffic to keep my nerves calm. It's really good music.
The whole traffic thing, I have to tell you, that's the one thing that I did notice in New York going back to the airport. I don't know if the listeners know.
We did mention in another episode that you were flying out to New York for a job interview, and so you flew back.
Flew back there, and just I was kind of concerned because I had to go through the Holland Tunnel to get to the hotel and get back to the airport. And I have to say, New York traffic pretty much sucks.
Yeah.
I thought L.A. traffic was horrible, which it is. But New York traffic, pretty much on the suckometer, I would say probably at least an 8 or a 9.
I've only been to New York once, and that's because a flight I was coming back from Europe, and I was supposed to go somewhere, and it got not misdirected, but I got redirected to LaGuardia.
Oh, good Lord.
And so my connecting flight was at JFK. And so the airline bought me a cab ride through Queens to JFK. And that was my whole experience in New York.
Now, how was that? How was going through Queens?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I'd never been in the area ever. I was looking out the window for the Statue of Liberty. I think I was 50 miles away from it. But so there are a bunch of little houses all smashed together, all of them with bars on every window and door.
Good Lord.
And every single one of them had a little satellite dish kind of hanging from the corner. Like a gimpy hand.
Yeah. A disfigured hand on the side of the house. That's really kind of disturbing, actually.
Yeah, and it wasn't on the freeway because the freeway was a parking lot, so the cabbie was going along the side on the access roads, and it was way faster.
That's not right.
But I made the flight home, and that's my New York experience.
Yes, you made it back, and you're relatively in one piece.
And now I live in Chicago, which actually I've only been to downtown Chicago 3 times now.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it here.
You know what? Chicago is actually nice. I've been to Chicago several times on business trips, and I think they have some amazing restaurants.
Oh, they do.
Have you this is a pretty high-end place, but have you ever been to Eli's?
No, I haven't been anywhere like that.
All right, you need to go there. If for nothing else, you'll have to wear a jacket.
Oh,
That's
okay.
one of the rules. But dude, they have this dessert called the smush.
The smush.
It's a big honking piece of cheesecake and a big scoop of vanilla ice smashed on top of it.
Wait a minute, they're not paying for this plug.
Oh, no, all right. The Smush, brought to you by Microsoft Flight Simulator.
And a box of spiders.
And isopretty.com.
Yeah, that's a new international standards organization measurement of beauty.
It is.
ISO pretty 9000. .com.
.com. Oh my God, this is funny. Seriously, I laugh. I don't know why I laugh at the isopretty.com joke every single time. It's like every single time. It's funny to me. I don't know what.
It's because we're like childish or something.
Oh, what? Come on, tell me something I didn't know. Good Lord.
I gotta go to isopretty.com for some reason.
Oh, here we go. Great. Kiev hookers coming back at you.
No. That's the ISO Pretty. That's the.
That's right.
iPhone software. iPretty.com, and that's the one that takes you to the squatters.
Yes, that's.
I wonder, do they have iPretty.org?
They might. I don't know.
It's resolving. Oh, wow. Hey, iPretty.org seems to be open.
Oh, well, there you go. Kiev hookers, unite.
And iPretty.net redirects you to something called marid.lunarbreeze.com/suspended.page. Visitors,
Wow.
we are sorry. However, this site is experiencing difficulties at this time. Hey, did you ever go to see Zombieland?
Yes, I did. As a
Oh,
matter
you
of fact,
did. Yeah.
I did go. I did finally get to see it, and thought it was amazing. And I have to tell you this, without spoiling it, for those of you who have not seen it, Bill Murray. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, I kind of spoiled a little because I put a little clip of him talking.
Oh, did you? But it was great. I mean, it was so much fun, and it was, I mean, it wasn't anything that we didn't already know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing we didn't already know. It was just.
You think that was really his house?
Yeah. I don't know if that was or not, but it was amazing. I loved it when he came downstairs. It was classic. It was so much fun, and I was not expecting that at all. That's what made it. It was that joy of discovery of the joke.
I thought it was a little awkward, but I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah, but it was fun. It totally worked. And speaking of movies coming out, I don't know if you've been watching, but my friend,
watching Butt.
Yes, watching Butt. It's
I do that all the time. I hate to say, but yeah.
Jennifer Lopez is in it.
Oh no! Wait a minute. It's really called Watching Butt.
No, I was just kidding.
Okay.
No, I was kind of going on three different directions, and my mind couldn't pick which track it wanted to go on. Watching Butt. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, it's open.
So to
squat
speak.
On that, squatters.
Squat on open butt.
Open butt. Okay. Oh wait, I don't even want to talk.
No, you don't.
No, I'm not
there.
typing that in.
No, don't do it. Your filters will go haywire. But back to what I was originally saying.
Oh, I have to.
My stepdaughter and I were talking about classic horror films because she was born in 1990, right? Okay.
Oh.
Are you with me?
I'm immediately going away from the website I just landed on.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So she was all right.
Wait. So you're bookmarking it?
No. Not into anal.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, there you go. Exit only.
Yeah.
So my stepdaughter and I were talking about classic horror films, and one of the ones that we were discussing was Nightmare on Elm Street because.
Oh yeah.
It's a would you agree? It's a
yeah,
classic film.
That is a classic across all. I mean,
Absolutely.
And Freddy's become like an icon, like Darth Vader.
Well, that's the thing, and we've been talking about how in the first one, Freddy was incredibly terrifying.
And then he became more and more like a
vaudeville character.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing missing was a hat and a cane and some slapstick music. I think he lost his charm. But all that to say, it was kind of ironic because we were just talking about it, and I go on QuickTime, and they're doing a remake.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I have to tell you, I looked at the QuickTime site, and it was amazing. It looks like it's actually going to be a good remake of the original. They're not doing anything crazy or wacky or weird. It's like a true remake. I mean, sadly, Robert Englund will not be in it, which I can understand because if you're going to make a true remake and have the guy that really personified Freddy Krueger, it wouldn't be good. Kind of like Rob Zombie doing Halloween.
Well, also it says here, I just Googled it. It says they're rebooting it. Kind of like they did with Star Trek.
Oh, really? So what does that mean? It's just sort of a retooling, I guess?
I guess they're going to kind of rewrite the whole thing. I don't know. Well, we'll see.
It looked like, I mean, the preview, let's put it this way, the preview looked incredibly close to the original script.
Okay.
So, food for thought. Yeah, and there are a couple more things coming out. Stan Helsing, which is like a comedy horror film.
Oh, really?
Yes, Stan Helsing. It looks very funny. All of the greatest horror icons all come out at once, and he's like the relative of Van Helsing, but he's trying to deny it. Says his name's Stan Helsing. And the vampire's assistant, which looks like a very clever sort of comedy horror, kind of stylized, but yeah. So there's all kinds of great things coming out. My stepdaughter went and saw Paranormal Activity.
Oh, how was that?
She said it was really good. She said it was because my fear was that the guys who did Blair Witch Project just kind of laid low and collected their royalty checks until they thought we forgot about them.
Is it the same people?
I don't know. I've been looking.
Because it does look the same.
Yeah, it does have it does kind of have the Blair bedroom project look to it. It's got a night vision camera. It's like, I get it. It seems like it's sort of a remake of that without the forest.
Yeah.
So, but she said it was actually pretty scary and pretty creepy and had some serious scary moments. So, I'm waiting for it to get released in multiple theaters so I can actually go check it out.
Hey, Dave is online. I think he wants to join in. Should I invite him in?
I don't know. You know what happens with vampires when you let them in? They keep coming back. So yeah, we can let him in and find out what's going on. I mean, I don't know what he has to say, but see if I hope he has a new microphone.
Yeah, that's the only problem. His microphone isn't that great. Let's see. I could never. Oh, here we go. Add people. David. Select.
How are we today?
Hey, David. Welcome to Zombie Beach.
Oh, no.
Yes. You sound like you're in a tin can, David.
Well, I am. I live in a tin can.
All right.
Dude, you need a better microphone. You really do.
Oh, does it still suck?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see if we can fix this. How's that?
It still sucks.
Yeah, it's like you said, hold on, and it sounded like nothing changed.
Oh, well, that's good. How's that?
Well, you sound like an AM DJ in Des Moines.
In Des Moines?
Yeah.
Des
That's
Moines.
all right. So, Dave, what is going...
Parade is Conway Twitty.
So what's going on in Australia? What's new and what's happening, and what's give us the 411.
The 411 is that my truck is nearly finished.
Oh yeah, you sent me an email asking if I'd gotten it, and I forgot to respond. I've got your pictures twice now. They look.
Oh, good.
Yeah, David. Is it okay to say this on the show?
Yeah.
You don't mind? Okay, David has built himself a Winnebago crossed with a Hummer on steroids, so that he could go trekking out across the outback in comfort and style. Is about all I could say.
And he's going to be attaching helium balloons to it to see if it will actually go off the ground and fly.
Balloon Boy Part 2.
Exactly.
Oh God, we should talk about that.
That is true. Have you been following that, David, at all? The whole Balloon Boy?
The Balloon Boy thing?
Oh yeah, it's big news here. I mean, how stupid.
It was in the middle of the workday here, and I somehow heard about it, and I brought it up, and I was watching it at work, just completely horrified. This poor little kid was in this balloon, and I was completely sucked into it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I watched it for hours, and I actually saw it land, and they opened it up, and the kid wasn't in there. I was like, oh no!
So you bought into it.
I bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. I'm a dad, you know?
Well, yeah.
And so
I've been called a mother, so
when
that works out
kids
well.
are in danger, I freak out. It's how I handle it.
Well, how can you watch horror films then? How can you watch a horror film where their children are having sex and being killed?
I have problems with horror films.
Oh,
That's why I prefer the funny ones that are not realistic.
Right.
Like
Tourist Trap.
There you go. Thank you.
I was going to say anything with Bruce Campbell in it.
Yeah, well, there is that as well. Oh my gosh.
So what did you watch that whole thing?
Well, I mean, obviously it was worldwide news, and a lot of the Australian news comes in from America as well. I mean, we sort of look at the world as as one thing, as opposed to in America where you only just get world news is about a 30-second glitch. We spend half the news program. So anyways, they were all over that whole balloon boy hoax, and yeah, I mean, a lot of people just sort of turned their eyes across and just went, oh, for crying out loud, not another reality, stupid idiots trying to make 15 minutes of fame. I mean,
right.
Does that seem to be the whole motivation in America, is let's get 15 minutes of fame?
Well, that's why we're doing this podcast.
From a balloon.
As long as I keep it within the trend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to miss the bandwagon. So
No,
I figure,
no.
if we can do this, we're in good hands.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Someone, please get us down. We're trapped.
Yeah, seriously. Good Lord.
Oh, wait. We're not even in the balloon. Oh, we were
well,
just joking.
great.
Is that what really happened? Have they confirmed the fact that it was a hoax? Or do they just suspect it?
No, it's confirmed that it was a hoax. I mean, obviously, the police, the Colorado Police Department is going to lay charges.
Oh, they're charging him. I stopped following it. But I mean, I at first I had this little sting of anger, and then I'm like, oh, who cares? So at least the kid's safe. That's all I really cared about.
Right.
Yeah, I think the reason why a lot of people are upset is because they got duped.
Well, yeah, and we were all worried about this kid for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I really wasn't worried about the kid. I figured, what, if you're going to have... And by the way, did you see that balloon?
There was no way that balloon was going to lift a kid in retrospect.
And it was like a giant flying saucer.
It was like the stuff I used to build.
Yeah, it's...
Built.
Where do you built? What, are you afraid there's going to be repercussions here?
I'm not building one right now. No.
There's not one in my basement?
Actually, I ordered one that was almost exactly like that from the Edmunds Scientific Company back in the 70s, late 70s.
I like the Edmunds Scientific.
Yeah.
Are those the people that have the rat guillotine?
Probably, but...
Have you ever seen that where they do scientific experiments on rats and they have to obviously sever the head to find out like the effects on the brain. So they have a little rat guillotine. It's like $400.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it comes with its own little executioner and the black mask. It's actually it's a little disturbing, but I mean it's
also
a lot of fun.
Available at Archie McPhee, right?
It is. It is. They have a whole little.
I have some fun with it.
Well, kids.
What Hunter S. Thompson used to always say: "Sever the head, and the body will die."
Yes. Which made a lot of sense, actually.
To him.
Yeah, exactly. So there.
Can you stop being so cryptic, Jerry, please?
Well, you could use those little things for like snipping the end of a cigar off.
Yes.
You could use that for a mouse.
You could.
It would be a mouse guillotine.
Yeah. But this one actually has a little place where you put the head of the rodent in it.
A little basket?
Well, no, it's not like they have the fat guy with the thing over his head with the big axe. It's like it looks like one of those what do you call those light switches where it's like it's like it looks like a light switch where you just take this thing and go shunk and you can cut off the mouth.
No, that's just too creepy.
Yeah. Brought to you by...
Let's relive those golden years of Louis XV.
Right.
Antoinette.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I want to start the French Revolution again.
Yes.
Rat guillotine, it pops right up.
See, it's actually
Small
real.
animal guillotine available at Kent Scientific.
And how much is it? It's like $400.
It is $400.
I'm telling you, it's not cheap. This is not a cheap toy, my friend.
What the hell?
This is a serious piece of scientific equipment.
Rat guillotine.
Now, Dave, do they sever the heads of rats down in Australia?
No, but what happens is that along the Newell Highway, which is in central New South Wales in the outback,
Yes.
which I've driven, there's just heaps of roadkill. I mean, it's just completely littered with roadkill of
Right.
foxes and kangaroos strewn across the whole road. I mean, it's a it's a white trash haven.
Is it really? So it's like a smorgasbord of roadkill.
Oh, it is. It is. It's just, well, when I went to go pick up the back of the truck, I had to drive from Queensland all the way past Melbourne, which is
Right.
halfway down the country. And the way I went was the fastest route was through central New South Wales and Victoria. And all along there, it's just nothing but roadkill. Just
Really?
roadkill. Yeah, and it's as flat as day old beer and red.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's quite. It looks, in some places it looks like a desert landscape, but red.
Ooh, like red asphalt.
Mars.
Well, no, just red dirt.
Oh, you mean the dirt's red? No, I was thinking you were talking about all the roadkill, and that would
I know,
be
that's
blood on
what-
the freeway.
I thought that
that
too.
Yes, I didn't know where we were going with this. I thought it was we were tapering off slow.
No,
So-
no.
So now, what with this roadkill thing? Now, please, you've lived over in Australia how long now?
19 years.
19 years. In any of your time there, I just want to know, and I'm sure our one listener really wants to know, have you ever eaten any sort of like animal that you picked up off the road, like roadkill?
No.
Okay, that's all I want to know. And there's Zombie Beach, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming by.
No, I've eaten, but I have eaten kangaroo and emu and
Oh, really?
and crocodile and all of that.
Yeah, and out of all those, which is your favorite? Personal?
My personal favorite is kangaroo.
Seriously.
Yeah.
What does it taste like? Don't say
Well-
chicken.
No, it doesn't taste like chicken. Actually,
No, it tastes like wallaby.
Now, where do you
No,
get kangaroo at the local IHOP?
No, you can get it at the
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
No, anyway, so let me. What
Hello,
they
is my
taste
mic
like?
on? Hello?
Yes, seriously. Now, do you
No,
have
I
IHOP there? Would this translate well to Australian humorous? You don't have IHOP there?
No.
Oh, well, never mind then. Thank you.
Well, why is it International House of Pancakes if they don't have it in Australia?
That, my friend,
That's not very
It's
international.
that's the right question.
That is.
We
need
want to
to
know, why is there no IHOP in Australia?
And can you get do they really have Belgium waffles in Belgium?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Carry on. I was going to go on a whole rant about Belgiums, but that's all right.
Oh, don't do that. My best friend is Belgian.
Oh, is he? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to discredit the young Belgianeer.
The Belgianeer. Now, where were we?
You were
Oh,
going
I
to tell
got-
us
yeah,
what does kangaroo taste like?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's actually extremely lean, so it really doesn't have a lot of taste to it. Because, it's sort of bland, really. You've got to, put like a really sort of a strong sauce to it or something. If you cook it any longer than about medium, it just turns to rubber. But
Right.
but it is the healthiest meat you can eat.
It is.
It is because it's so full of iron that when you eat it, you immediately become redder because there's so much iron in your blood.
Wow.
Yeah, it is very, very healthy for you. But like I said, it's pretty tasteless. And unless unless you make a nice sauce with it or something, it's sort of bland.
Right.
I normally put it in a pie or something like that,
Right.
with a rich, like port sauce or something. It's
Now, when you is it? I mean, I would have a problem because there was that whole big scandal over here many years ago that Jack in the Box was serving kangaroo meat as part of their hamburger mixture. Now, over here, that freaks people out. I don't know why. But in Australia, there's no problem with kangaroo.
Well, some people don't like eating it because they think it's Skippy, you know.
Right. And for our listeners, Skippy is a
alcoholic kangaroo.
Kangaroo that it's kind of like a Lassie in the outback, but it's a kangaroo.
But he played the drums.
He did.
Lassie gone bad.
I wonder if we can play the Skippy theme song.
1, 2, 3.
Hippity hop, she'll stop the traffic when she passes by. You'll stop and wish that you were where she's going. Hoppity hip, she'll skip into your heart. You'll wonder why the world is all a glimmer and a glowing. Cute as a koala and as busy as a bee, happy as a kookaburra laughing in a tree. Hippity hop, she's up the way she'll wave goodbye. That's when you'll want the whole wide world to know that you love Skippy, Skippy, Skippy the bush drummeroo. Skippy, 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 our friend ever true.
Skippy, the alcoholic kangaroo, and but so people don't like eating Skippy. Well, here in the States we have Skippy peanut butter.
Yeah, here it's peanut butter.
Yeah. No, but I mean, a lot of people are eating it. I mean, it's nothing that's, you know, half the people eat it, half the people don't, I suppose.
Right.
Normally the way you get it is like a sausage form.
So it's kind of a 50-50 thing.
But you buy it in a grocery store?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That
You buy kangaroo.
And that and crocodile.
Now, crocodile's
really?
good. I like crocodile.
Yeah, it's sort of like fishy chicken, you know?
It really is, actually. It's very tasty. Deep fried, it makes a nice little appetizer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, that's exciting. So what are you up to today, Dave? I mean, what time is it there? It's like 2 a.m. or something?
No. It's actually, what time is it? It's about 10:15 in the morning. And I'm going to go to work later on today.
He's talking to us from tomorrow.
Yeah.
From the future.
Yes.
I am.
Dave, would you do me a favor? Could you get the paper and find out what the lottery numbers were for tonight? I'll send you a link to some Saudi prince who will send you $24 million.
Okay. No, I'm going to go to work later on and feed the masses, and that'll be pretty much my day.
Well, I tell you what, Dave, since you're our guest, would you like to do the outro?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another exciting and exotic episode of Zombie Beach with your hosts, Dan Ledbetter and Jerry J. Davis. And I am the happy guest all the way from Australia. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
.com.
Yes, and don't forget, visit the Australian Tourist Bureau.
Yeah.
Eat more wallaby.
For news and official information.
Yes. Mind the sex-crazed wombats.
.com.
Sexcrazewombats.com.
Brought
Go check that one.
Brought to you by Qantas Flight Simulator.
We can get it.
What's that?
Sexcrazewombats.com.
I'm gonna
It's a new show.
I'm gonna go squat on that right now.